Good morning everyone and welcome to the Two-Headed Roll Gaming channel as we're gonna review a campaign in the Total War Saga Troy. A game which I personally have enjoyed quite a bit, especially because Creative Assembly has paid some attention to it and has improved the overall gameplay experience. However, like the other title in the Saga series, Frontier Britannia, it has become, unfortunately, another one of those games which has mostly been forgotten by the people. But personally, I still consider this to be a really good game, and I would at least encourage you to take a look at it. And if you like what you see, add it to your wishlist. And whenever you have an opportunity to do so, try the game out yourself because there are many cool elements about this which you will enjoy, especially if you are a fan of Total War games. And before I hit new campaign over here, let me just give a quick shout out to a recent viewer, Eagle18, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, who has encouraged me to redo the Agamemnon campaign, and it has been quite motivating to talk to you, which is why we are here. So let's get this show on the road. Nowadays, whenever you start up a new campaign, you have a pick from three gameplay styles: historical, the truth behind the myth, logical. Historical is more of a classic Total War experience, grounded in reality, where your heroes are wrong, but they're nothing special. Basically, they are important people and they are accompanied by a general's bodyguard. These really tough and experienced troops, making them a strong unit in battle while also providing bonuses to nearby troops like morale and things like that. However, put your general in a dumb situation or move him away too far from supporting units and you might find yourself without a general in an instant, just like that, by falling into a trap. So you have to pay attention and be a bit more careful with your general units. Praying to the gods will provide you with passive effects tailored to historical reality, meaning you get bonuses to morale, public order, things like that. And all units are grounded in reality, meaning that you are not getting any Minotaur, Cyclops, weird units like that. Historical is a viable way to play this game, even though you don't have anything which makes, let's say, Troy special, right? These mythical units. Because of the way the classes work, you have light units, medium units, and heavy units, and the way the maps are built with different terrain types, you can play very tactical battles with all types of troops, which makes it a lot of fun. Whenever I tried it, it's not my favorite playstyle, but I have tried it because I have been a fan of the classic Total War experience. I enjoyed it quite a bit, so I would recommend that you give it a go as well. Then we have the truth behind the myth, the idea with which this title, Total War Troy Saga, was told. Total War Troy Saga? Total War Saga Troy. You get what I mean. We have heroes which are single entities. There are these really strong units which can take on hundreds upon hundreds of troops with barely a scratch on them. They are powerful units. You can control them in battle and put them in key positions and they will pretty much win a battle for you. But it's not only an advantage for you, it's also an advantage for the enemy, where I feel like many times in a battle like this, you are forced to control the enemy's heroes as well. It feels like a game of chess, where you are trying to place your units in such a way that you control the enemy queen's movement before it wrecks, plenty of your pieces. So that's how this game's playstyle feels. The gods of Olympus bestow passive support in battle and grant access to unique units. And also mythic units are interpretations of legends, such as the Minotaur, a mighty bandit king with a bull's skull helmet. When I heard this idea, when they sold or when they were advertising or marketing Total War Saga Troy, I absolutely loved it. Being a huge fan of the classic Total War experience and not a huge fan of the Total War Warhammer game, I felt back then that this was such a great combination. And I really felt like they've done really well with the Minotaur, they've done really well with the Cyclops, but unfortunately the execution for other units hasn't been that great. When I take a look at Centaurs, which are just these horsemen, not half horse, half man, just men on horses, they don't look anything special. More than that, whenever I fight them on the battlefield, I rarely notice them. So, unfortunately, it doesn't really feel like it went that great, you know? And finally, we have mythological, where it's 180 degrees in the other direction of the historical. You have mythic creatures, cyclops, harpies, you have centaurs as centaurs, you have satyrs, you have Cerberus and Hydra, and there are god powers. It's a pretty cool experience. However, it came a bit too late when they've added this into the game, where most of the people have moved on from Total War Saga Troy, and they pretty much figured out that why would I want to get into this when I could play Total War Warhammer and it has a more fleshed out experience. So it's a bit unfortunate that this is the way that it happened, but what can we do? We'll play a campaign like this in the near future as well. So for now, the truth behind the myth. Let's play with this one. And we're gonna go with Agamemnon on this occasion.
None will cross me and live.
None will cross me and live. And now let's see what we get over here. We are the King of Men. We appoint heroes to court position. Appointed heroes receive bonuses and provide faction-wide effects, and being in a court increases the hero's motivation. We also have the lion's share, where we can force or entice factions to become our vassals. They will give us resources each turn, and we can also extort them for more tribute, but they will grow to hate us in time. For armies, Agamemnon's roster is the most balanced among the Achaeans, with a mix of good and heavy armored infantry, capable ranged units, and strong chariots. Good to know. As far as heroes go, we have access to skirmishers, we have access to defenders, being really tanky units, and we also have access to warlords, which will provide bonuses to settlements or to our units, to performance of our units, or they will scare the enemy units in combat while boosting the morale of our own units. We do not have access to champions. Champions are really strong units when fighting in one-on-one battles. So whenever you see a champion on the battlefield, you might want to throw in a defender most of the time because it's tanky enough to survive the onslaught of such a champion. Probably don't want to engage them with your archers. And on Warlord, it really depends on the situation, but it's mostly you want to avoid those units with some of your squishier heroes, so to speak. And we are the son of Atreus and Europe, meaning that we get 12% to administration efficiency for royal decrees and +4 to influence in the province. This is an effect for the hero. This is really good, and I will explain more when we are on the map. As far as victory conditions go, I am not going to go for Total War Victory. It is a bit too long for my taste. I will go for Homeric Victory. Complete all of the steps of your hero's epic mission chain. And I really enjoy this mechanic because you have different choices at different parts of the story or different parts of the campaign, which will have effect on your hero or on your faction for the rest of the campaign. So it's really cool kind of mechanic. Then we need to take out our main antagonist, Troy, with its sons, and finally have some territories. Great. Normal difficulty, nothing else. Let's get this show on the road. I'll skip the cinematic, but I will let the rest of the narration happen to present us the situation. Almighty King Agamemnon of Mycenae stands atop his capital wide wall, casting a fiery glance eastwards to Troy.
O wide-ruling Agamemnon, there is only one response to Queen Helen's abduction, and that is war.
Brother, your foolish passion has doomed us.
Fear not, noble cousins. I stand with you.
This is a grave insult to golden Mycenae. Enlist the other Achaean kings. The folly of Paris may convince them to support the forging of a great Achaean empire.
Troy thinks to slight me, but they will pay the price.
Your brother Menelaus will be relying on your full support in this great endeavor.
Paris of Troy must pay!
Secure your power at home before embarking on overseas initiatives. The warriors of Tiryns wage war on your allies and vassals at Troezen. They dare to challenge your fame and power. Continue your expansion, while ensuring the Trojans pay for their insult to you and your brother.
Okay, let me turn down the volume here. And defeat the first army. You know what? Let's start with the battle, the usual battle that any total war starts with, whether it's rebel or some faction. Let's get into it. I feel like I've spoken enough in the beginning, so we can take a quick break, enjoy a battle, and then talk about the rest of the map. Over here we have Agamemnon. He's a warlord, pretty good hero. Then we have a unit of swordsmen, they are good flankers. We also have the young spears, which they are decent flank. I wouldn't really put them in a frontal battle because they are quite squishy. You can see they have no armor here. They're light unit together with these clubmen. The clubmen are expendable, meaning that if they die in battle, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's like nobody expects them to live. So if they die, they just die. It has no impact on morale. You can use them to, you know, hold down a unit for a while you flank with a more important unit. Things like that. Then we have two units of medium spears. This rectangle over here means that they are medium troops, medium armored troops. They should hold the line on most occasions, and they're really good against, or they're good, not necessarily really good, but they're good against swords. And finally we have a few special javelineers here, which will have sort of a vanguard, not sort of a, but they do have vanguard deployment. Okay. So this is the map right here. We have some tall grass, which means that we can hide most of our troops within it. We have forests, and there are some open fields. Now let's see, what is the best position to start from? I feel like bringing all of my troops over here. I'll probably bring the javelins. I want to bring the javelins up here at the moment. They are hidden. They have this trait over here, stalk, which means this unit can move hidden in any terrain, which helps. So we're gonna keep them there, and we're gonna try to drop some javelins in the back of these troops. Let's bring in front, we'll have our spears. We'll support them with our hero and clubmen. Well, I don't have a whole lot of expectations from the clubmen, to be honest. We'll put them in the first group, and we can hold Control G to lock the formation of this particular group. Then I'll take the young spears. The young spears are not flankers in any way, but this one are. Flanking attack improve. Still, I feel like having spears attacking from behind could be really useful. And that's about it. Let's get this started. Now in this situation I feel like going through the forest and engage those troops there. We're gonna fast forward it here. Oh, our javelins have not been spotted yet. That is good for us. Now you can see in this grass, you can see the eye over here, this icon. This means that these troops are hidden, so they're not spotted by the enemy anymore. I'm just gonna go forward. We are going to be engaging these troops like so. I really want to use one of these spearmen to engage his light swordsman, because we do have an advantage. Right? I believe we do. Yeah, bonus versus axemen, bonus versus swords.
Your hero is under attack.
Hero, you'll engage that unit. We're gonna go like this. I'm not gonna stay around with the clubmen. We're gonna try to chase some of these units. And I am going to bring in the javelineers. And we're gonna try to throw some javelins in the back.
The foe has sighted your hidden units.
Let's bring these units behind. We'll go like this, we'll go like this. Come on. I think I've deployed a bit too far, should have deployed closer, but I was a bit afraid of getting spotted. We're gonna use these swords here to flank these units. Perfect. That should turn the tide of the battle. As you can see, there's red swords, meaning that they're starting to lose.
You'll soon be crying for mercy.
Okay, these units are broken. I'll use the clubmen to engage those. I'll use this spear unit to flank these other spearmen, which are medium spearmen.
Victory is close enough to taste.
I feel like using the javelin to actually take down this warlord commander. That unit has fully broken. Let's stop that hero unit. Let's continue over here. Yeah, they've been mostly broken. Now I don't want to leave his hero. I don't want him to escape in any way, shape or form. So we're just gonna focus here on taking down his hero.
Hades has
There we
claimed the enemy hero.
And I feel like that should take his entire army out. I know he still has full units, but this first battle, generally speaking, is made in such a way that they will just die. %8 replenishment is not that impressive. I feel like I am gonna take lives as barter, meaning that we're gonna get some food.
My renown grows.
Muster and maintain 12 units in total. Okay, what do they have over here in this city? So they have a garrison with a champion, 2 spears, and 2 slingers. They have some other units over here. Definitely need to recruit a few more troops. Basically 2 spears and probably either another javelin or another slinger. Slinger have higher range. But I guess on this occasion we're just gonna bring in some javelins for the extra strength. Powers, let's see. March of Hermes, which will increase, both of them increase our hero's hit points, but afterwards we can either get 8% speed and 9% stamina generation over 30 seconds, or we could get 80% stamina regeneration over 20 seconds. Reinvigorate. I like Reinvigorate a bit more, because having your troops not tired will make them more efficient in battle. They are not companions. Titan blood courses through our veins, so we're gonna go with that. What other traits do we have? So we have our lineage, we have Homeric character, meaning he cannot die. Epic hero, this is an immortal hero. Faction leader, 20% rage generated in battle, 15 morale of hero, and +3 to influence in the region. Plus another 4 here. That's really cool. 10% to aura size of hero plus free morale of hero. This is because we're bold from offensive battles. If we do a lot more, this trait will be upgraded. Good. Okay, let's see, what else do we have to work with? We have 2 cities. We have Mycenae over here, which is a capital. Has a muster field, means we can bring in some spears and some skirmishers. We have Mycenaean walls, and we do have a town. What could we build which would help us? Some line of sight I don't care for. Plus 5% food per turn from buildings and reduce recruitment costs. Wood, some happiness, some influence over province, or growth. Growth could be quite important, but I need to take some of the other cities before I throw that in. I don't think I'm going to build anything right now. We need a lot more wood to get a temple. And in the other city, right here, this is a bronze producing city. Bronze can be quite important to maintain heavily armored troops. We're producing only 59 bronze at the moment. And here's where influence comes in. You can see that this city has 65% influence. High influence, the token for high influence you get when you achieve 60% or above influence. What does that mean? Well, it means that people like you, people are on your side, right? If you take it from another faction, they will have a different influence and you will have to spend some time to get them to your side. You can see the map and the breakdown of the map over there. Well, sure, but once again, why would I need influence? Well, it's very important in order to get more resources. For example, in this resource making building, the Twin Trader, we get 21 bronze per turn at level 1. If we have high influence, and in this situation we do, we get another 28 bronze per turn. So more than double we are getting if we have good influence in the region. This matters a lot in your economy. If you do not spend time to increase your influence, you'll find yourself many times running out of resources even though you have half a map in your control. So you have to pay attention to that as well and make sure you have control. Some of these more advanced buildings, you can see that it provides you with even more. 41 bronze per turn at base level and 62 bronze per turn with high influence. So those are combined, you get a lot more resources. That's why you want to have the high influence. If we take a look around, what resources do we have? These people, Corinthians, they don't really like us, and they do have a food region, which I want. I definitely want to get a territory which will provide us with food. This region is another capital, will provide us with nothing except for control. Our vassal over here, Troyzen, has a food settlement. Corinth also has wood. 2 territories with wood. I would definitely want both of them. Having wood early on can really help you in expanding your city and resources. You can see on this first path with the Tin Trader, I need wood, wood and bronze, wood and bronze. Bronze we will get by, building these buildings. And we need a supply of wood. For some of these more powerful buildings, we will also need a lot of stone. And gold, but stone, I feel like it's the main thing that we would want. So what I am thinking right now is that I'm going to go for Corinth. I believe that they have an alliance, right? They have an alliance with Athens. So it means that as soon as we go to war with them, we also have to pay attention to Athens over here, which has what? Food, gold, more food. It's very interesting. Yeah, we'll definitely want some of those territories.
Remember this day.
I would really love to take this nearby territory right here in order to make this entire region ours. However, we do have another problem, and that is the problem of diplomacy. And let me just show you what I'm talking about. So right now, if we take a look around, some of these factions, you can see that Argos over here, Diomedes, is a Danaan pillar, a Danaan leader of great affluence. When given the choice, if you opt to support the Danaans, this one will become a faithful ally of yours. Beware, for should you betray any of them, the vengeance of the Danaan pillars will be merciless. Basically, they are very important for us, as we are considered part of the Danaan. I guess you can go both sides, but most of the factions here, if we take a look at Sparta as well, he's a Danaan pillar. Let's see which one over here. Nestor, he's a Danaan pillar. So most of these powerful factions near us are a Danaan pillar. Whenever we declare war on them, the others might not be too happy about it, you know, or if we break alliances and things like that, this will not make them happy at all. So you have to pay attention how you want to go about doing this, and how can you provoke them in such a way that you do not make the entire faction angry at you, because then you'll have a lot of problems if you do not have allies. Okay, what else do we have over here? The King of Mycenae, you can see 15 to diplomatic relations with the Chians and minus 20 to diplomatic relations with the Pelagians. Faction leader, good. Objectives, we know about them. Royal decrees. On the royal decrees side, 92 efficiency, what would we want to do? First of all, I feel like we're gonna go with royal granaries to get 280 food per turn. It is a good start, it will fuel a few more units within our army, and that is pretty good. It takes 8 turns to do so. Afterwards, getting the extra growth could help us in building our cities taller, making them more economically viable. Getting influence here will help a lot. As I said earlier, it could help us gain more resources, but in the beginning, given that we have enough of a presence with our general over here, we can use him and his +7 here to influence in the region in order to stabilize it and bring any kind of territory within our grasp. So that is the idea that I'm thinking about. +2 to happiness in own provinces, this could help a lot in stabilizing the region. Getting the wood, I feel like it's more important to get the territory rather than this research. Bronze, once again, this will be useful, but at the same time we do have in control bronze. And finally, I am looking for one more thing over here. Actually, it's 2 things. First of all, honoring our blood, where we get +30 to diplomatic relations with the Danaans. That is really good. However, it will cost us 400 gold, and right now we're just getting 24 per turn. And the other one is this one, Glory Share. This one will cost us 700 bronze in order to research and only takes 2 turns. But look at that, +20% to treasures looted after battle. That might not seem like a lot, but some of the larger battles can give you thousands of food and bronze and things like that. Getting 20% more will help you in your early economy. So this is something that I am going to target in a way. We'll see if we actually manage to do it at that point. Okay, there are a few more things to talk about, like administration, but I feel like it's not important for right now. What are we going to build? I am going to wait over here until we could get enough wood to put down one of these buildings. And I don't want any of these. Let me go and say that we want things to be quicker. For allied factions, we are going to turn the camera off. For enemy factions, we are going to ask them to go fast. For neutral factions, let's say off on this one and fast on this one. And right now I'm just gonna quickly go through all of the others. This one skips every kind of movement and things like that. Okay, issue a royal decree, we're already on it. They are not recruiting any other troops at the moment. I am going to have to make do with the troops that we do have available over here.
God among men.
Do I? Or should I recruit a few more?
I'm afraid I can't.
Well, we do have the resources. So maybe I can bring... Yeah, let's bring a few more troops before besieging that city. I feel like we have enough wood right now. Go ahead and bring in some bronze via the tin trader. Then we're gonna move north here. We're gonna take all of these territories. Okay.
Let my enemies beware.
Time to attack.
Orphan their offspring.
I could use a ladder, but maybe having one of these
Strike hard
is
and
also
true.
going to be helpful. Having a battering ram should never fail. Chariots. Chariots, I do not like really playing with chariots. They're not really my style. Going on this path to get the bows of Mycenae at some point would not be a bad idea. There are some bowmen here with this kind of unique building. Can I place it only there? No, I can also place it here. A 140 range against 115 or 180. Okay, nothing else. Okay,
Take them down.
let's attack the settlement. Just in case this crashes. Okay, let's see. I feel like this is a pretty good position to start from. Let's see, what is the range? Okay, that tower is turned towards us, like this tower as well. If I was to attack other gate, tower, this tower covers it, these two, but this does not. So even though it puts us slightly further than the town center, I really feel like that might be a better position just because we don't have to worry about one tower, right? This could almost reach us, but I feel like we could avoid it. Let's do this.
Agamemnon.
Not really interested in having this unit there. I'll put this unit on the battering ram. I will bring Few spears on this side. Maybe even three. Three on this side. We'll have our javelins, have our swords, and finally our general. And we'll start the battle. And I am going to use ladders. Just because I feel like they don't have enough troops to cover this entire perimeter. And we're gonna put you here. I am going to bring only one here to take control of this tower and remove their power. We're gonna bring the javelins forward. Which I'll be using, I don't know, maybe just distract some of these troops, some of his javelins. I will bring the warlord, will bring Agamemnon to those walls like that, and then I'll bring the swords and everything else very close to the walls. Hey, let's speed it up.
The foe has sighted your hidden units. Your ladders have a foothold on their walls.
Okay, good. So, militia, I don't care about those. The spearmen might be a bit more trouble. Their two heroes will also mean that we have a bit of trouble here. But if we manage to break through his walls, I feel like that will really help us a lot. Okay. Capture the tower, please, so that we don't get pummeled by arrows anymore.
Your warriors are attacking the gates.
Maybe go inside or something. I don't know exactly what would be the best choice here so that we take care of that unit there. Maybe we'll do this, we'll do that.
Javelins ready.
We'll do leader of man here. We'll get some of that stamina back because Agamemnon has become really tired.
The enemy gates have been destroyed.
Perfect. Now let's go inside, seeing all of these troops. And I'm going to use the clubman to go after his javelin men. We're gonna use these swords to... I don't think I need to worry about those walls there. Okay. Agamemnon, let's bring you to fight against this champion here. Or maybe just bring you downstairs. These javelins will take care of that militia. These swords, engage this militia right here.
One of
Good.
your units
Now
has
we're
no
taking
more ammunition.
his tower away.
You have captured the enemy tower.
Spears, let's get you down. You, yeah, keep focusing on him there.
Javelins prepare. Destroy the foe.
Keep pummeling them.
Agamemnon. Foes beware. Don't hold back. Spear.
Yeah, these young spears are getting wrecked by his hero.
Waiting orders.
But once again, I do not worry too much about it. I care more about my quality troops in this
Your
situation.
warriors have been routed.
Okay,
Awaiting orders.
we routed these troops over here.
You have captured the gates.
Let's go down and make sure that we surround those units.
Forward we go. Awaiting orders. Advance, men. I had
I
hoped.
think we're out of ammo. Yes, we are out of ammo over here on our javelins. So let's try to do a weird surround here.
Go at them. No mercy.
Speed it up.
Your warriors are rallying.
as at this point I feel like it's mostly a matter of time.
Your warriors are losing heart.
Are you ready?
Oof.
It shall be. No question.
As you see over here, Agamemnon got a bit wrecked by his champions.
Rely on it.
So we're just gonna retreat slightly.
Spears.
That is because he probably has one of these heroes as a really good champion, a really good warrior, probably even threw in some sort of skill ability, something like that, which caused a lot of damage.
Waiting order.
That is why you have to pay attention whenever you are engaging one of these more tougher heroes in battle, right? That's something to remember for the future. In this situation, heroes do not matter too much because we've managed to destroy the battle or the
Victory
units around
is
them.
close enough to taste.
We mostly controlled the battlefield there. We controlled his heroes, so in a sense we controlled the battlefield. However, if we would have not paid attention for a second longer and Agamemnon would have died, would have fallen in battle, then all of a sudden we would have been in some sort of a trouble. Who knows how large that would have been. I don't care for raising or sacking at the moment, I would say, as this will be one of my main cities. Hideous Shield, +4 to armor of all units while besieging, and +4 to the defense of the melee. Okay, +2 to motivation, and +7 to morale of all club units in the hero's army. Hideous Boarskin. Not the greatest artifacts in the world, but Agamemnon's shield is making the hero resistant to flanking and +4 to armor. That is better. And his scepter gives us +5 to morale of all units within the aura and -10 to recruitment cost for all heavy infantry units. Definitely something that we want to keep. Okay,
God.
that was a close battle overall. But for right now, we've gotten enough resources from that battle that we can even throw in a smelter house, which will provide us with a lot of bronze. Combined with the high influence, we're getting 100 bronze per turn, 103. We also get +3 to happiness. I guess we'll leave it as it is for a while to stabilize the region. Then we will change some of the buildings around. Commandment available. Because we control this region together with our vassal here, we are able to throw in a commandment. What do we want? -2 to construction time of temple and cost. Something to be thought about. Probably more growth in the region could be good. However, not the best. 5% of more resources. You know, for now, let's just get the extra happiness to stabilize the region and we'll get the growth as well. And in my city, we could build a temple. So who do we want to go with? And this is the final thing that we're doing today in today's episode. If we go with Hera at level 1, we would get 20% missile damage and armor-piercing missile damages of slingers. We don't really have slingers right now. And reduce the recruitment cost of all units in provinces with 60% or more influence. Zeus will give us power to clubs and missiles from javelins. That could be good. Ares will provide us with recruitment capacity and morale of sword and axe units, not applicable at the moment. Rank of priestesses +3 and construction cost of temple reduced by 20%. 20% to morale of spear units and -20 to fatigue in battle for all units while defending. We're attacking a lot, but the morale to spear units is great. More movement at sea, we don't care for. Diplomatic relations with all factions. And more effect to organize game. Increased by 200%. Ooh, that is pretty good. +2 recruit rank of spies. And 15% to ammunition of archers. And -30 to construction cost of all production buildings. Faction-wide. 25% more gold income and bronze income. Ooh, this is also really good. To all production. You know what? Hephaestus it is. We're gonna do this one right now. We're gonna make a temple to Hephaestus. And we will see what else we will be doing in the future. Do I want some of these club warriors? I feel like I should be getting some of them as well. They will be very expensive to upkeep. But it's going to provide me with some strength in the army. Anyway, that is going to have to be it for today. We are going to be returning tomorrow and we're gonna continue the campaign, declare war on Corinth, and we'll see what we manage to do afterwards. For now, hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you did, do consider leaving a like, as it does help me, helps the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel to see more, and until next time, I wish you all to have a wonderful day.